All right, bam, we in there. All right. Cool. What's happening, everybody? What's happening, everybody, man? We ain't even live yet. I'm gonna start doing these live one day. But what's happening? We got shut down early yesterday, man, because my Zoom app wasn't what I needed it to be. So I upgraded. So we now can get shut down at 40 minutes.
Cool. Let's do
It. This time around. Just roll.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. So yesterday we left off, man. You was talking about your time in Israel. And all the different groups you were spending time with.
That's right. Just take a seat up in my greenhouse. Yeah, man. So talking about my learning, like basically what I got out the trip from Israel. And I feel like I went there on this spiritual journey, which kind of turned out to be almost like this illusion, you know what I mean?
Keep going. Move some real quick. Keep going.
Okay. But the beautiful thing is what I got from it was spiritual growth. I got agricultural knowledge, and I feel like that my DNA was woken up to a certain extent. Nice. I almost felt like a tree, or like a plant that had been separated from its roots. Then when I went back to Israel, it felt like a regeneration. You know what I mean? And so yeah, man, I just felt more planted, more grounded, more myself.
Got you. Okay. So let me rehash. So you said you was out there. So you said her DNA got woken up.
Yes, sir.
And by that you mean you felt more connected, more grounded, you feel more like yourself. Would you say it felt like home in a sense? You feel like as a person. Okay.
Absolutely. Felt like I had never been home. And felt like, wow, this is home, after all these years.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say that it felt like a rebirth of sorts, you know what I mean? But it was more of a rebirth of who I actually am, you know what I mean, versus than what I was made, or what, you know what I'm saying? Like all of the learnings that we get from our parents, just from interactions through our first 7 years of life. I felt like being away from that and being like, wow, this is my true essence.
Yeah, and I'm familiar with that mm-hmm. feeling.
And so yeah, man, Israel was a big spot, and also in Israel, that's kind of where I think I said yesterday. I kind of took the spiritual jacket off my back, you know what I'm saying, or took the religious jacket off mm-hmm. and became a more spiritual being. So, I went from just reading the Bible to start to read like the Emerald Tablets, the Book of Thought, just because
I ain't got the Emerald Tablets yet, man.
Okay, yeah, man, it's a beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, and I haven't read the whole thing, but when I jumped in there, immediately from the stories, I just.
Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead. Now keep going.
Yeah. So just immediately, I started to see all of these similarities, you know what I mean, in the story. And I was just like, oh, wow, all this time I've been thinking that this was something different. And it's really just, one and the same, or, different language, because these people said things different, or different name because, just different, different locations, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, once I read the Book of Emerald Tablets, man, and the Book of Thought, it was on. It was like, okay, no more religion, only spirit.
Spirituality. Right, man. You said Emerald Tablet and the Book of Thought.
Yeah, and the Book of Thought is THOTH.
Oh, Thoth, like THOTH. Oh, the Book of Thoth.
Yeah.
I heard you said the Book of Thought. You said the Book of Thoth. Okay.
Thoth. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Thoth. Yeah, I always guys get those pronunciations wrong.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah,
Thoth. All right.
Hey, me too. I was looking. It's funny. I was young. I think I probably was about 20, and somebody told me about the Book of Thoth, and I thought I was like, oh, the Book of Thought. Like, I'm gonna look for the Book of Thought. So I was looking for the Book of Thought, and being like, oh, get deep in my thoughts.
Yeah, man, that's funny, bro. I heard the Emerald Tablets. I ain't looked into it. I've heard the Book of Thoth as well. So for sure, I'm checking both of those out.
Cool. Cool.
So you feel like what kind of brought you to this awakening was a combination? Was it more so? Was it to working with the earth?
Yeah, well, it was being alive to like being in the moment. And so another key scripture or key verse that Jesus said, when people like they asked him like, when will heaven come? He said, heaven is here now. You know what I mean? It's like this is not something that we need to wait for and plan is gonna come. He said, heaven is all over the earth, yet men don't see it. And so I realized like that's basically because we always in quote unquote thought, like we either in the past or we way in the future.
Talking about being present.
Being present at this present time.
Now we got these.
Come on. Now we got all of this. So look, which is why I didn't even have social media for a while. You know what I mean? Like I was like 3 years without a cell phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
Because it's that distraction, just inevitably. Like no, you know, for me in my life, I can't say about no other person, but for me, no matter how much, if I have a phone or if I have a Facebook or Instagram, it's gonna distract me. Like, you know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, I mean, yeah, I get distracted by it, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what it's meant to do. You know what I'm saying? Like the creators of this thing have literally came out and said, yes, we invented this to addict your brain.
It's a documentary on Netflix about it.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you know, it's just what it is. It's just what it is. You know, but at the same time, you know, we can also you know, do things like this with technology, you know what I mean, and be able to open up some minds, and you know what I mean, it's just, you know, raise people's spirituality, I believe.
Right, absolutely. Just, you know, it's gonna be what you make it, generally speaking. You know, to an extent, because even when it's being what you're making it, you still get distracted by it. You know, like I'm doing good work on it. I'm being productive on it, but I'm also getting distracted at the same time.
I'm also
you know,
yeah, bro. It's the truth, man. It's just the truth, bro.
Yes, sir. I get on Instagram, man. I get on Instagram or something like that, man. I'd be like, all right, man, I'm about to do something specific. I got to message this person. I got to do this post. Da, 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 da. Man, I get on Instagram, something grab my attention. I'm in on that. Then I start doing some scrolling, get off. I didn't even do what I got on there to do.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Then I got to get back on. Sometimes it happened twice. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to do something specific, but something to grab me.
Hey, bro, same way. I ain't gonna even stunt. I'll be the same way. Mine can be as simple as like my little nephew. Hey, have you seen this? Like, go check this out on YouTube. I click on YouTube, that thing populate, man. Before I can even get to the video or search it up, it's all this other stuff. It's clickbait that done got my eyes. You know, I'm like, oh, that look good. That look good.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So
now it's just lost time.
Now wasting your time, and look, and then you're not in quote unquote heaven anymore. You're not here
anymore. You out of your present, you in somebody else's thoughts or what? Some shit I posted or man,
for real, bro. Yeah, man. And so I remember I came back from Israel. I came back after that. I was in between Jordan and Israel for about a year.
Okay.
And most of the time Israel though, but I went to Jordan as well, man. And after that, I came back, brother, and it was just different for me. Like I couldn't read the Bible anymore. Like I literally could not read it anymore.
You feel like you kind of like grew past
it, but I was moved to. I won't say that I grew past it, but I felt like it had been revealed to me, like, or I felt like I had started to see it at such a elementary level or such a like essential level versus than a physical level. You know what I mean? Like I started to see that Abraham and Sarah, like, yeah, they were the mother and father of the scriptures, but this is also talking about like our left, and we have a left and a right brain, and it's called like the cerebrum. So look, so it's funny because the cerebrum is the, you know what I'm saying, these in this Sarah and Abraham cerebrum. And so I started to break, like these things started to become clear to me, like all of this, the science of the Bible, or like the
Symbolism and
truth.
esoteric.
Yeah, the symbolism and the esoteric meaning. So
Yeah.
it just led me into wanting to, like, understand more about the planets and want to understand more. So I started getting into astrology,
Yeah.
numerology, because again, that's part of the scriptures as well, like with the 12 and with the 7 golden candlesticks. You know what I'm saying? All of it's in there, like it's in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Like Moses holding the staff, you know what I'm saying? And then letting it go down on the floor as a snake. Then he put it back as a staff. This is talking about your fucking, you know what I'm saying? This is talking about our spine, bro, and how we have 33 vertebrae. We have 33 vertebrae. And it say Christ died when he was 33. You know what I mean? So, and then he died at the place of the skull. In the scriptures, they called it Golgotha. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that just simply means the crown. And so it's basically, coming from the land of the Gentiles, which is the genitals, to get up to heaven, man, to raise that up. And so once I started to see these things, I couldn't go along with, I guess, like, like the church anymore, like kind of just like the more what I kind of felt like was more elementary almost, like for people who like don't have a good understanding. It's like a game. So I couldn't do that anymore. I said,
like you said, it was like you may not use these words, but like you said, it was like entry level. You said,
not even entry level, man.
That's just my brain.
No. You know what? Like, and that's not even. It's like preschool. You know what I'm saying? Because more like preschool is like where you just let the kids in and let them do whatever they want to do. Almost, I think. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like with entry level, like at least it's gonna be a structure, a path that you have to follow. Like, you know what I'm saying? In order to. But in preschool, it's just like, okay, anything goes.
So you said it was before. It's not even entry level. It's kind of what you
said.
Not
entry level. No. But I have to go through there in order to get to that entry level.
Right. Okay, because preschool is not even school yet, really. Because you don't even gotta go to preschool.
Exactly, you ain't gotta go to preschool. That's not a necessity.
It's damn near daycare. So. Okay, that's interesting, man. That's interesting.
Yeah, brother. And so, yeah, man, came back, got into, human design, like I said, astrology. So just started getting more into the chakras and I Ching, just all of those things, the Kabbalah, Tree of Life. And so after that, brother, I ended up traveling to Nepal. And so I went there because
now did something specific draw you to Nepal specifically, or is that just the place you chose to go?
No. So what happened, man? It's interesting. While I was in Israel, I met a lady. The first lady who I met who told me about this thing was from Germany. She said, she's like, have you ever heard of Vipassana? And I was like, Vipassana? No, I was like, I never heard of Vipassana. And so, anyway, long story short, she told me about it and how good it was. And so I was like, okay, great. Sounds good. And long story short, I didn't sign up, man. And so I went to another forum and another lady from Colombia, she told me, hey, have you heard of Vipassana? You should check this out. This is Vipassana. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, yeah, somebody else was just telling me about it. I'm checking into it. Didn't check into it. So probably like 2 days later, she came and asked me, she's like, hey, did you the Vipassana? She was like,
they wanted you to check out Vipassana. Yeah.
I was like, I ain't looking. She was like, no, go right now. Here, she's like, on my phone. Here, just fill out. She was like, because you need to sign up. So I was like, dang, what? All right. So this is, universal guidance. You know what I'm saying? Stuff out of myself. And so I was like, okay, yeah, man. And I went to that while I was in Israel, man. And that, to be honest, I actually that literally like took all the religiosity out of me. After that experience, man, literally while I was in Vipassana, which is it's a meditation technique that they got from the Buddha or whatever. And so basically it's just sitting there, like you start with your breath, getting the rhythm of your breath, and then you just start to follow all of the sensations in your body after you know what I'm saying, stilled the mind enough. Right. And so, man, while I was in there, I remember.
You say you sit and you follow. What just run that by me again?
Yeah. So Vipassana. So the overall meditation is for you to basically, with a still mind, scan your body from head to toe.
Mm-hmm.
But before you're able to get to that level, they just ask you to basically just tune into your breathing. Don't control it. Just let it be natural.
Okay.
In and out breath, in and out, and just focus on that. And so when you focus on that, a lot of times, like we talked about being distracted, our mind is a distractor as well. So, when you haven't just sat in one place for, some time, more than 30 seconds before, what I'm saying, your body get to moving, like feeling like something wrong, So it took me 3-4 days to actually be able to just sit and be still. So it's a 10-day silent retreat ceremony is how it starts. So it's free. They feed you, good vegan food.
It's free too?
Free. It's free. And the only thing you do is give a donation. But I mean, it's like good. They got good good living facilities there. You can volunteer. You can stay there forever. You know what I'm saying? But good food, man. Really good food. Really good people. A really good technique. And when I did it, and it's good that we're talking about it now. But I felt like at that time, because I was in the Hebrew Israelites, I felt like everybody should do it. Every Hebrew Israelite, but not even only Hebrew Israelite. I feel like every conscious or, trying to seek consciousness should try this technique. Yes, it's called Vipassana. And so basically what you try to get to is to be able to, again, sit with a quiet mind and just allow your scanning, like you just scan from the top of your head all the way to the bottom of your feet back up. So you just keep doing it. And the thing is that you notice that you're going to have different sensations in different places. And sometimes I remember one time, bro, I felt like I was literally sitting on an ice pick because I had sat in this one position once for so long that, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like my hip, I just felt like it's like one of the worst pains in the world. But I just stayed with it, I stayed quiet, stayed calm, and I just kept on scanning it. And it just started going away, man. It just went away. It started to pulse, started feeling like something like I was getting a massage or something in that area. And then it was just like all released, man. Yeah. And so what it is, that it's trying to show you that everything is always changing, that the only thing that is permanent is change. Yep. And so it's trying to get us not to be caught up in, oh, I'm happy, oh, I'm sad, but just to be able to be even keel, you know what I mean? And not be so caught up in the I process. Like, oh, this is happening to me. You know what I mean? And so basically it's like getting you in line with your spirit and like, basically taking you more out of the ego, putting more into the spiritual cup rather than the egoic cup.
It's kind of like, this shit always gonna be moving. This world, it's always stuff always gonna be happening. It's always gonna be moving. That you can control as much as you can. So that's a constant. I ain't gonna change. But the only thing you can't control is just maintaining your center. Because this shit is always gonna be doing this thing.
Come on.
Always. So why bend and jump and flip to whatever?
We can't do nothing about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? The thing that we can control in this life is this one body that we have. We can't control another body. I don't care if it's our daughter, son, wife, mother, like we cannot control another body. And so that's what, that technique allows you to basically stay in your center, to build you a castle, and then you can stay inside your castle. You know what I mean? You don't gotta, oh, somebody doing something over there, jump out of your castle, go fight, get mad, like none of that. Like,
some people, man, like, no judgments, nobody, everybody at where they at in life. Mm-hmm. But and I'm sure I struggle with it too, man. But some people, man, that's all they are. They're just,
Hey, man, it's funny that you said that's all they are, because a lot of times, I don't know if you've ever experienced it, but I've had a lot of people, where, and I've had even times in my own life of where I've allowed the spirit of anger or the spirit of, all these other, I'll just say the 7, that we talk about, just that those spirits, have came in and basically made residence in my home and just, and you know what I'm saying? I just acted from that place, not literally as myself, but I allowed that spirit to take over. And a lot of people have allowed that spirit just to make residence within them. And then they don't know how to separate themselves from that spirit. And then
It's not you, man. You know what I realized, bro? And this may be on topic, but off topic at the same time, right?
Mm.
But you know how your subconscious is kind of your programming, right?
Absolutely.
You can
Absolutely.
kind of direct it with your consciousness, right?
Definitely.
So I
Definitely.
know sometimes you be doing. I realize, and I think you know, a lot of people haven't got to this point. I realize, man, it's almost like it's a program running, right? So I realized, man, my thoughts. Sometimes these thoughts that pop up out of nowhere are literally separate from me because it's doing its own thing. So sometimes I get these thoughts that pop up, maybe something negative. So I'm like, nigga, that ain't me. That shit just popped up. So then you can consciously check it and be like, nah, you know, or direct, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But I realize your thoughts are not necessarily you. This is like its own thing.
Come on. Yes.
You know what I'm
And you
saying?
know, come on now, bro. I got chills over here because you telling it. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it'd be crazy, man. Like they just think this just pop up like the fuck. But if you don't have that level of consciousness, you think that's you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And you know what? It's so funny. I remember this one author. I can't remember his name right now, but he described the mind as like a conveyor belt.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying it's always going to be things going down the conveyor belt, but we choose what we pick up. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, yeah, that's on the conveyor belt. It's on the conveyor belt. Like, but do I need it right now? Is this gonna help anything? You know what I mean? Being able, like you said, consciousness. So that's that when you can actually be in the moment, you can have that consciousness to choose rather than just letting that subconscious take you to the program. You know what I mean?
Doing that.
We got to rise, and that's what we're here for. You know, to rise above it.
Yeah, man. But that shit, I started realizing that, like, man, that shit ain't me.
Mm-hmm.
This is own.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's crazy stuff, though, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. And so, yeah, so that's why I went to Nepal, bro. And so yeah, man, being out there in Nepal, it was the same, man. I made, family quickly. And again, I got to stay with a lot of different families. Yeah. And so over there, the families, they're named like all of this tribe had the same last name. Like you know what I'm saying? So, and it's like, I think it's like 5 or 6 castes. And the ones who, like the original people, the Taru people, it was so amazing for me, man, to be over there in Nepal.
And Nepal is that like Southeast Asia?
Yeah, it's Asia. Yeah, it's right by India.
India, that's what I thought. Okay, that's what I was making sure.
And so this is what they say. This is where they say this is like the birthplace of Buddha, right? And so yeah, and so birthplace of Buddha. So I was like, oh, okay, beautiful. And so my first time doing ayahuasca when I came.
Question.
Yes.
Is Buddha considered a person who actually lived, or is he more so a fictional character with a lesson?
No, absolutely. No, like it's just like the same way with Jesus or all of it. So it's all this character who had this 40 days and 40 nights type of thing.
Right.
So same way. And it was funny. It's funny that you said that because this is just how some funny things is. I remember it was a guy from Nepal. He came to me and I just started laughing. He's like, Buddha was a greater teacher than Jesus. He said, you know why? He said, because Buddha went to all of these different places. He went to Asia, he went to India, he went to Nepal. And so I just laughed at him and I said, hey, you may be right. I said, but look at this though. I said, now let's go and look at all of these different Buddhas. I said, let's look at the image of them. I said, so we look at this image in Nepal. Wow, looks like kind of like me, brown, kind of with the nappy hair. Mm-hmm. I said, but then we just travel right over here to Asia, to China, and big old fat Buddha, white skin. I said, so God, so we think that we are made in the image of God, but we actually made God in our image. And so that's just what it is all over the world. Mm-hmm. And
Damn.
so, yes, sir. And so, man, yeah, man, I was on this super religious journey. But after the first time that I did ayahuasca, so I came back here, had a dream about doing peyote. So I tried to go do some peyote. I have some Native American in me, the Comanche, which actually preserved the peyote, and they brought it back. And so I was like, oh man, I want to go do that. But somehow ayahuasca came up first, and it was while I was at a vipassana. Like after this 10-day vipassana, man, I started talking to the people that were there, and one was like, oh yeah, I know a shaman, like they gonna be coming in town. And so I was like, well, shoot, this must be it, bro. And the long story short, like once I actually got the invite, it was only one more space left. Like so I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely, it's my time to do this. And so went to do that, man. And in that first ceremony that I sat in, I met a guy, and I told him that I was probably going to be going to Nepal. And he said, oh, I got family there. It's like family. He said, my dad died on Mount Everest. And like now I got family there. He said, so I always go there. He was like, here, let me give you the information so you can stay with them. They'll take care of you. And you know what I mean? So again, that's that kind of like that guidance, you know what I mean? So I was just like, okay.
Synchronicity. Bam, bam, bam. It's like dots connecting.
Bam, bam. So I just kept, just stayed in the flow, went on out there. And like I said, I ended up doing the Vipassana out there, and it was way more indigenous style, as compared to doing it over here in the West or in Israel, which is basically just Little America. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Little America in Africa that they call it.
That's a little homie.
Yeah, that's the what we're gonna call that's the that's like the little stepbrother or something. That's over there. And so yeah, man. And so being over there, we had all type of like nice padding and stuff, man. Being in Nepal, nah, you sitting on just hey, you in it. You got like if you here to meditate. Like all of that other stuff, like don't matter. So comfort and all, it showed me, man, like different cultures, like what's accepted, or like just what can be handled. Like it's so amazing, vastly different, like through, you know what I'm saying, through cultures, through like the East and the West. It's amazing. Yeah, man. And so yeah, man, and being there, so I met the guy that was like his family, man. He ended up taking me to see like one of the highest airports the highest airport in the world. I went on a lot of different treks, man. Got to see Mount Everest. He actually gave me some land over there, man. So I have some land now in Lukla, and that's up in the mountains. It's up in what the people call the Himalayas. So now I have some land in the Himalayas, man. That was just given to me. I talked to him and kind of just told him a little bit about my vision. He was like, yeah, like I want to support that, like he's like, yeah, do it here, like come here. He went out, showed me a lot of natural like remedies from his people, the Sherpa people. And so yeah, man, after there I went to a place called Chitwan in Nepal. So I went to the jungles, and that was, again, I met the indigenous people, man, and they were darker than you and I, man.
Yeah.
And that's another beautiful thing too. Like through me traveling throughout the world, like everywhere I've gone, people thought I was a native there. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go to Brazil, they think I'm a native there. When I was in Peru, they think I'm a native there. You know what I'm saying?
You fit in a lot of different spaces.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. When I went to Africa, like, you know what I'm saying? They was looking at me, they was thinking that they thought I was, what's it called? They kept calling me from this tribe, gosh, I can't think of this South African tribe, but that they kept calling me. But yeah, man. So like, yeah, everywhere I go, man, I it's like, just say that like that brown people, like I found that on my search, like damn, we everywhere. Like the darkest people is the natives.
Damn, bro.
In every space.
That's funny, man. I got an Indian friend, man. He do comedy, right? But he was saying how he kind of got that ambiguousness. He said everywhere he go, when he go to India, when he in Pakistan, they think he Indian. When he go to India, they think he Pakistani.
Oh,
Over here, people think you're Mexican. Yeah.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's funny, man.
Hey, yeah, that's too funny. Hey, well, I'm glad I got it the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah. They be beefing. Yeah. They be
Like, oh, you Pakistani? Like, yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a
yeah.
beautiful piece of land that I wanted to visit when I was there, but they was like, oh, you can't go there. And I was like, they was like, because India and like Pakistan is fighting over the land. And it's crazy, bro, because when I spent time in Jordan and in Israel, I stayed with Arabs sometimes, bro, and their culture, like not the religion, but just the way that they are, bro, reminded me so much of how the Nepalese people were. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see the similarities in it. Like just the only difference was a different conqueror came and gave a different religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But the culture, but the people was still like, you know what I'm saying, the same people. Just like if you and me was brothers, and then I go on that side and draw a line, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Now, yeah, yeah. You indoctrinate over here. You indoctrinate over here. That's a
but we
trick,
still,
man. At what point?
but we
You
really.
kind of cutting in and out, man. Let me see if this.
Uh-oh.
I think we good now. Let me.
Okay.
At what point did you start conducting, learn how to conduct ceremonies and stuff, man? Because I was tripping out when we was on the beach, man. You was doing the ceremonies, but not only that, you was doing it in the language and da 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 da. I was like, man, what the hell, bro? Like,
Well, you know what? I learned how to conduct ceremonies through. So my first ceremony that I sat in was 2018 when I came back here, and it was amazing. And it was like as soon as I met the first shaman I met, like he came to me, man, like in the ceremony. The guy was like, you know, bowing down to me and all of this stuff. And the next day, he's like, hey, like he just being super nice to me, just like, hey, come up here, like, hey, you don't need to be there, like, come, you can take a shower here, and like here, giving me all type of literature, like, here, you can come here. And so he invited me to come to Brazil with him. He was like, I want you to meet this tribe, like, God, it'd be so great, like for you. And so I was like, all right. But long story short, I wasn't able to make it. And so after me like sitting in other circles doing ceremony and stuff, I kept getting these offers. People kept saying, hey, you like come and visit my tribe. Like, won't you come? Like just interested in me. And so when I actually went to Brazil, the guy told me, he was like, hey, he's like, yeah, he was like, from the beat when I met you, he was like, I was given a message by spirit to bring you here. He said, because this is, you know, this is your path. Like you know, you're a whole medicine.
yeah.
And so I was like, oh wow, you know, he was like, yeah, don't worry about it. He was like, watch when we go to the tribes. He was like, they'll notice you, they'll see you. He's like, they'll take to you, you know. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was like that. Like as soon as I got there, man, they was funny. They kept calling me Jaboya. And so Jaboya is this like all of the little kids and even like the teenagers, they was all calling me that. And that Jaboya for them is like this, like basically like the snake or the giver of life. You know what I mean? Like it's happiness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I was, you know, from at first I didn't know what it was, but after like being around them and learning about it, I was like, oh wow, like you know, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's something that's high. You know what I'm saying? Made me feel real like honored and humbled.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Bro.
And so, yeah, man, just being out there, bro, I just felt it. I was like, yeah, this is good. Like, I just felt good, like with the medicine. I've in doing it, like I've never had those experiences. Like some people say, oh, I went so dark and I was so scared. And like for me, it's never been like that. I've never had this dark moment. I've had moments where I feel like I've got messages like from the earth or from
Would you
ancestors.
say these dark moments? Would you say that was something that was in them, kind of?
Oh, that's exactly what it is. I mean, like so I was in Arizona this one time looking at this ancient cave, and it was a guy who was supposed to be a tour guide, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, see, they drew these pictures when they were on that stuff hallucinating." He was like, and that's some really wicked stuff. And so while he was doing it, I said, "Hey, excuse me." I said, so I said, "Well, where did you get that information that it's wicked stuff?"
Yeah.
he's like, oh, well, I know a friend that tried it one time and she said she was throwing up and she had bad. I said, okay, so your friend, I said that the only thing the medicine shows you is what's inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
That is all it shows you. I said, so if it's showing you darkness, then that's stuff within you that you need to deal with in order to get to the light.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, man.
Mm-hmm.
Different people. I heard I was talking to my girl about shrooms one day. She had never done it yet, right? He was talking about, and she would bring up I never had a bad trip on shrooms, really. Okay. My first time I did it, I had bad moments. But overall, it was an amazing experience. Like, I'm talking about the first time I did it.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, it's the same thing. Oh, I know there's one person and they saw this and this happened." I'm like, that's one experience. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you're not even like that. So you wouldn't have that experience. I know you. You wouldn't have that. You wouldn't have that type of experience because I know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Hey, your video went off.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me get closer to my router.
Yeah, man, I still hear your voice, so even if the video don't come on.
I had moved around there. Let me get closer. I was trying to look, I was being cheap. I've been cutting down on all my bills. I seen that Spectrum was charging me $5 for a router. I was like, oh no, I got my own. Let me go on and throw this one, hook this one up. It's just sitting here.
Funny, man. That's funny, bro.
I'm gonna save it all, man. Look, and everyone I save, man, I'm throwing it in investments. My investments, man, and my life insurance. Total life insurance, bro. Be my own bank, man.
I hear you. I got life insurance. I invest, man. I need to get on it. I need to get on it harder though.
Hey, bro. And this is the time, bro. The reset is for us, bro, right now. Yeah. Like, if you look at it, with this, whatever they say got going on in the world, man, but all of the stocks are falling down tremendously.
Bruh.
And it's giving us these, us, man, people that don't really got that much money. But if you can just invest, like I'm talking about, and you can wait for 2-3 years, your money's going to be triple, quadruple.
It's opportunity to jump in.
This is it.
Jump in and get busy. No, you're right, man. You're right, bro. This is it, man. Because this shit is crazy.
There we go.
The crypto and stocks, man.
Absolutely. Crypto and stocks, brother. Yes, I seen Bitcoin had dropped down to like 28,000 or something, and it haven't that in a while.
Yeah, and Ethereum is at like 1,000 something last I looked.
And I love that. I got a little cash in there. That's the one that I ended up missing that Bitcoin wave, or I felt like it, which I really didn't, but I missed it to me. So I was like, well, I'm gonna jump on this Ethereum.
Yeah, I got one coin and some change. I got up in there to get one. And
already.
Bitcoin.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. As long as you gotta do this thing.
Yeah, but you're right though, man. Where's we at, man? Okay, so you started conducting the ceremonies, man.
Oh, and, yeah, man. So you was asking me how did I start?
I'm getting Amber Alert.
Oh, I turned all that off.
Chevy Chaser said your home proceed to record say called Glendale. Must be a fire or something. Anyway, God, oh shit. You can turn Amber Alerts off? I don't know you can turn Amber Alerts off.
Oh man, I turn all them alerts right on off, man. I used to have it. It's just, a lot of times I can't do nothing. And so I to be honest, it's funny. I turned off all them notifications because like I feel like I had a time in my life and it still springs up of where I had a savior complex, thinking I could save and do something and all that kind of, I'm gonna help you. Like, man. And so long story short, I realized a lot of time in helping without asking ends up creating hurt. So it's like we can lead a horse to water. They say, but you can't make them drink, right? But, in my life, I had times where I'm like, nah, I'm going to make you drink. You know what I'm saying? The next thing you know, the horse done drowned. The horse dead.
Yeah.
So it's like,
funny as hell, man.
Yeah, man. So now I'm way more quiet of a guy, man, until people ask me something. You know what I mean? If you ask help, then I'll answer. But it's like, I ain't finna be just jumping out there like, nah.
Yeah. Here I come to save the day.
Exactly. Yo, I had a lot of that, man. That savior complex, man. Yes, sir. So yeah, my bad. So back to the
Oh, you all good, bro.
yeah, back to the how I got into the medicine ceremonies, bro. So yeah, so my medicine journey started with ayahuasca. So going back to the Nepal trip, another thing, so the synchronicity. I was out on a jungle walk, you know, and this is something just like basically you just going to the jungle with like a guide, wanted to see like rhinos and you
Yeah,
know elephants and like we seen a bear, but good thing it didn't see us. Well, I ain't say good thing it didn't see us, but we tracking a tiger, like
yeah,
you know, y'all kind of different deer and stuff. But on that walk, bro, we found some some magic mushrooms, and like we found this field full of big ones. And they was from the rhino, you know, rhino poop. And so we found one, and then he, you know, we took him. And it was a big one. He was like, "Here, this is." He was like, "This is for you," and I was like, "Medicine in Nepal." Like, who would have thought it? Like, it's funny because I had this vision before. I told people like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go do medicine in Nepal,"
yeah.
and now it's no medicine in Nepal. It's just more like, you know, meditating and stuff. And then I go on a jungle walk and I encounter this.
Bam, there it is.
And so, yeah, man. And so that was my first time actually doing shrooms. It was like everything came in a line. You know what I mean? Like through my Hebrew Israelitism or that Christianity, like that through Christianity came Hebrewism. Like through Hebrewism, like I got into that Vipassana. Through Vipassana, like it led me into medicine. You know what I mean? Like it's like always a door
Yeah,
lead me to the next thing. And so yeah, man, with so got it, so did that, had this awesome experience, man, just where I was like, wow, everything is connected. I seen the whole grid of the earth, like the
mm,
colors, the
mm,
energy of the
mm.
trees, and how the ley lines of the ground, and how it was all like within, like tapped into me, and like this, I was just like, wow, we all one source. Like it,
One thing. Yeah,
it was in, you know, to actually be able to like experience it, you know what I'm saying? It was something that was just like, wow. And so yeah, man, when I came back, I came back from there were friends that I had made out here in LA, man, from sitting with the medicine and then from Vipassana as well, that I kind of, you know, just kept in touch with. And, you know, they kept inviting me to ceremonies, man. And every time I would go, everybody would love me. And so I ended up visiting. So when I went to Brazil, it was two tribes that I went to see. It was the Hunikoin and the Yawanawa.
mm-hmm.
And so seeing them doing ceremony, and even the different people within those tribes, seeing them doing ceremony, and you know everybody did it differently, and I realized like, oh, this is an intuitive thing, or this is something that's like,
Mm-hmm.
this is something that you let spirit do. This is not like doing the Macarena. Like it's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like I got to do the
It's your
Macarena.
expression of it in a sense.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what is spirit? How is spirit going to use you to guide this ceremony?
That's
Um,
nice. I like
and yeah,
that.
it's not like, okay, I got to practice for hours on how to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, but it can become like that ritual, like that's through anything, you know, can become ritual like that. But yeah, through my experience of, you know, being there with them, seeing each of them do it differently within the same tribes, and you know, being sitting with even more tribes in the Yawanawa, said with the Katukina, and I won't go on and on with these names, but I said with a lot of different tribes, and just yeah, and all of them all said the same thing. You know, it's just like, wow, you know, you're blessed. And like the Yawanawa, man, I traded one of my shirts for he gave me a crown, a Jaguar crown. You know, and he was like, God, this for you. He was like, I got something perfect for you. And so I felt like they was always like, you know, like then I went to visit the Katukina, and they called me Karumuru. And they
Okay.
said this was like first and greatest Paje. They called him, they said he was the man who who uh who brought fire back to the village.
And
He went
he,
out fire and brought it back to the village.
you done
And
amassed like 20
so
different names to your journeys, man. You got
for real, hey, that's why like I have so many names,
the
man, and I'm
man
open.
of many names.
Say, man, everybody give me a name. Hey, look, when I was in Zambia, they gave me the name Chiambi. Out and said that I'm the genesis of us to return back. So yeah, man.
Ooh, shit, that's heavy.
Hey, bro, they just be giving them to me, man. I don't be looking for them. What's my name?
All right, I'll take it.
Hey, all right. So you know what? And then so it feels like everybody when they can see my spirit, it's like great responsibility or something. You know, like, and so yeah, man. So watching them, and then when I was doing ceremony, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm finna go on this journey. I was in school. I'm studying with the medicine. So even when I leave ceremonies, like it's be times where I go in and I'm listening to the medicine where I'm just gonna be where I study. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's a part of it. Like when you go into it, especially when you're introducing other people's, I think it's best to know it inside and out. Absolutely. You know what I don't think it's something that you can just do one time, be like, oh, I did that before. So now, you know what I'm saying? I think it's something that has to be done repetitively and something that also has to be done like spirit has to call you. This is not something that you just like, oh, I want to do this. Like I'm gonna work towards that. Nah, this is something that spirit calls you and you either pick up or you don't. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like, okay, like when the time spirit is called, like y'all picked up.
That's heavy, man. Either you pick up or you don't.
Either one. Mm-hmm. Sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, man. So that's how I've been going through there. So working it for many years, and many years. I should say 3-4 years. Working with it for the 4 years, and then having different medicines as well, like that I had worked with. And so the one that called me the most to actually bring people to it was mushrooms. And so in mushrooms and cacao, because the cacao is it's a heart opener. And so out in Bahia, it was a
hands up to everybody, mushroom cacao ceremony. That's what I did with Ooriyah.
Absolutely.
On the beach after I had met him like literally like 3 days before. I had been like 2-3 days before that, right? Then I was on the beach doing the mushroom ceremony with you.
Hey, man, that is so.
I forgot about that. Man. We met like 3 days before that. But right, am I correct?
Now you're right. It's so funny, bro. And I never it's so funny because I've never did that. And it's funny because after we did that, I was like, oh, I gotta screen people. I can't just meet people 3 days and be like, you come to the ceremony.
Yeah.
Oh man, that ceremony. We gotta talk about this ceremony. That was I'm thinking about you just walking down the beach. We looking for you for like an hour. I'm like, oh my God, where's this guy?
Fun, bro. It's funny, man. And it's true. My brother always tell me this because I'm a big ass kid at heart, right? And when I feel that, like you got spaces where you feel the most like yourself. Definitely. I just turned into a child. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I was on mushrooms, I was just dancing and running around up and down the beach and just having fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh man, Sue was looking. She was like, look at him. You was like, you was strolling. Like it was crazy. You was modeling out there. It was crazy, man. It was funny though. It was a beautiful day, man. And like I said, like I had never heard your take on the ceremony. So you telling me like that it was that was good for you. It turned out great. Like it made me happy because like I said, like at that time, everything was going like crazy. I was like, like I was like, I should have canceled this. I was like, I had to go pick him up. I'm doing all of this. But long story short, man, everybody, has told me that their experience was great.
Yeah, you did good, bro.
Appreciate that.
Another thing that was funny about it, it's funny, we just talking about the thing now. It was funny, man. I don't remember his name, man, but remember, I feel like wherever I was that night, my energy was too much for that dude you had picked up. Remember? I remember, and it was 2 encounters. It was at one point where we was kind of both on the shore, right? And I was kind of doing my thing. He's doing his. I was trying to interact with him. He was like, bro, I see you. I see where you at. I understand where you at, but I just I need space.
I remember that.
You a lot right now, and I respect that. Because I've been, when you in your space, when you in whatever your space is, you got to be in your space. You know what I'm saying? So I understood that. So I kind of, I respected that.
For sure.
I remember him being like, "Hey, man, I see where you at, man, but I just need you you a lot right now." And then, when we was at the end of the night, when we was departing, walking each other to our cars and whatnot, I went to get a food like a dap and a hug. You know what I'm saying? And he like, he was like, he just put his fist out, like just a dap, just a dap. Like, all right, so I was, whatever I was on wasn't what was nowhere near where he was at. He was on his own thing, I was on my thing, and my thing wasn't, the chemistry wasn't there with our energy.
But you know what is funny after
your voice cutting
that.
out. Your voice cutting out. Hold on.
Hold on. Let me go back up.
I want to hear what you're about to say. You saying what?
Let me go back to. Let me get back closer to this thing.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I had never experienced somebody so like, whoa, you gotta. Yeah. Which I respect. He was at where he was at, and I respect that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was like, you know what I mean? Like he was just at in his home. He was dealing with a lot of a lot of movement, you know what I'm saying, in his home and stuff. So he was there like for like a deep spiritual healing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. As like, were you there, like you said, you was just having fun. And which is no problem, and that's what a ceremony is as well. Like everybody comes for something different.
Yeah. But I also had my deep moments as well, like when I told you how I started interacting with myself like you did on the plane. So I had that as well when I was, with you in the tent, and we was kind of the initial parts of the ceremony. But when I was up and moving, that's kind of when I started just playing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Oh yeah. That's a Nanga moment. Yeah.
So it was like multiple. And my trips always be like that, man. It'd be chapters. It'd be this, then it'd be this over here, then it'd be this over here. You know?
Hey, different levels. Yeah, man. And and during that ceremony too, I like literally, it was this one point where I was like in like 5 different places at one time. Like I was in like 5 different. I was there with y'all. I was like over here talking to somebody. Like I'm talking about like up in my astro body. I was doing something. Woo. Like in all them times, bro. Like in that ceremony, I was like, okay. Like I was like, I'm doing a lot of work, but I need to rein it in. You know what I'm saying? And so, but for me after that was what I learned during that ceremony. And every ceremony, like I learned something different. But that one was like to rein it, basically to pull myself in. And then not only that, then after that, just to allow myself to flow through those dimensions, you know what I mean, and not try to just be one thing. And so it was again me kind of going back to my Vipassana training of just, hey, everything is constant, just let everything flow, you know what I mean? Like basically, it is what it is. And so yeah, man, like I was trying to do a whole lot of things that day, man. But yeah,
it turned out good, man. It was great, man.
Beautiful.
Francisco still be hitting me up sometime on WhatsApp.
Oh, that's good. That's good, man. Man, we was gonna come to your comedy thing together, bro.
Man, it was so good, man. It was so good, dude. It was like perfect handsome.
I heard, man. I heard your brother was like, I was like, man, I wanted to come. He's like, I don't worry about it. He's like, we recorded it. He was like, man, it was lit. He was like, man, my brother, he's like, he really coming up now. He was like, I done seen his progression. He was like, he's a true comedian now.
Yeah, man. It's been quite a journey. I'll tell you that.
Already.
Shoot, man. Is it
Hey, man.
On a lot in the last 2 months.
Hey. Yeah, we have.
What was you about to say?
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I was gonna talk about the package and the journey, but we can we can leave that for the next time, or we cut now.
Oh, it's definitely gonna be more times, man. Because I'm gonna be doing this, man. So we can have our things again and just chop it up about different stuff. And I'm gonna be having some time. You can jump in with me, chopping it up with somebody else, everything, bro. So I'll just be in touch with you.
Hey, beautiful, man.
I'm
with.
We touched on a lot this last few days, man. You got any concluding thoughts before we dip out?
Man, I guess in conclusion for these last 2 days that I've shared. So this was like 20 2016, 17, a little bit of 18 in my life. Now, like that I stand here in 2022, like I stand here like it's though like those pieces I haven't let go, like they're still part of me. They're still part of me. Like, but yet I'm much more like I guess expanded or much more here on earth. I'll say now more accessible. Before I was like really reclusive just to myself. Like I said, I didn't have a cell phone. I could email and stuff like that, but I had got to a point where I felt like, man, people were just reaching out to me so much and stuff, like as far as like spiritual advice and stuff, that I kind of just like went back and went into my shell for like about 3.5 years. And so now, like, kind of coming out now.
Okay.
To, like,
you see that was necessary for that period?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah,
definitely. And I feel like, now's the time. So now, like I said, I started Instagram and have people coming over here, like showing them how to plant, how to, turn soil, how to prepare the soil, how to harvest, the different fruits. You got the loquats right here. So yeah, man, just
you got showing them how to. My parents they got pomegranates, they got the loquats, they got you got the same
you got the loquats. We got the mulberries. We got the grapevines, man.
Man, I find that.
Got fig tree.
Oh man, damn! You got it, damn.
Look, man, but these damn squirrels. I love nature.
Yeah.
Man, these things came over here and took every fig off of one of my fig trees.
God, you got the fig tree,
and they still
everyone.
Yeah, man.
Damn, bro, share. Squirrel. Hey, let me
Hey, look. Hey, look. They gotta get first. Look, they took every one off of this month.
Damn, bro. Because over here, when my folks, the pomegranates, the birds
did every fig off this.
Damn, man, that's crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Selfish.
Yeah, look, pomegranates, they are already coming in.
Yeah, they be blooming in that once around the winter time.
Yep. Say, eating these over here is funny because I don't know how they planted them, but these things been blooming. Look, they are already coming in.
Oh, damn, yours coming in early.
Exactly. Look, that's the same way with those mulberries and stuff. They came in my loquats. Like nobody loquats out. But I got like 2 trees that my other loquat trees haven't bloomed yet.
That's dope, man. That's so dope to be growing food, man. Have your own fruit trees, man. And
yeah, man. That's the way, bro. Fruit is always better when it gets picked off the tree, man.
Absolutely, man. You were saying that I find that happens, man, when you be in your journeys, man. You talking about how you're reclusive for a few years. So you right. So it was like, so you had to go to. So it was so like you hit 2 extremes, right? It was people reaching out to you too much, and it was like, this is too much, right? So that's one extreme. So you went the other extreme. So you went the other extreme, which was reclusive.
Absolutely.
Now you're kind of coming back in balance.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? And I want to say this too. It's like so a lot of times, like as far as balance, or I want to think of words like equal and equity.
Mm-hmm.
So I like, for me, I feel like that life is more about equity rather than equal. Like, you know what I'm saying? So let's say it's like in some periods, it is called for you to be all the way over here.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's called for you to be over there. But as long as it's equity with that situation, whatever that is for that person, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. As long as it's like, okay, I got enough for that reclusive time. I got enough for that time. Like now I'll be able to pour into more people. Now I'll be able to give. You know, like, because a lot of times I will give, or I'm talking about us as melanated people. We'll give so much, and then our cup will be just empty, and then we'll become bitter. You know what I'm saying? And it's because of that. And so for me, like, to escape that bitterness, it's like, okay, let me go back in and recharge.
Yeah.
Then now that my cup is overflowing can give you. You know.
Yeah, you got to know your season.
Yeah, man.
Shoot, man. I think we go ahead and wrap
Absolutely.
this one up.
You have to know your season.
Trying to think. Yeah, man. So we touched on a lot, man. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna title this. How I'm gonna put it out because we touched on a lot of stuff, man.
All right, we're gonna have to have chapters.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna have to 3, 4.
Yeah. And like I said, this is my first one, man. So I'm gonna still figure out how I'm gonna be packaging things. You know what I mean? I just wanted to get started because I've been having this idea for so long, but I ain't moved on it. So I just wanted to go ahead and just, all right, man. Let me just do it, man. And then I figure out.
Hey, for real, bro. That's what it's about, man. Like, yeah, bro. That's good that you at that point. That's the same place where I'm at. Like, I feel like it's once I see people who do something and they stay consistent at it, it's gonna grow inevitably. Because whatever you feed grows, but it just takes your time and attention. You know what I'm saying? We ideal, but if we're not pouring our effort, our energy, our time into it, can't flourish.
It's true. It's all day. So yeah, man. Yeah, that's it, man. So yeah, I'll be in touch, man. And when you have another gathering over there, let me know, man. I'm gonna try to slide through.
Absolutely, bro. I sure will. Man.
Yeah, I appreciate this, man. You're just dropping a lot of gems.
I appreciate
a lot
you,
of
bro.
gems. I got some books I got to check out. I got to check out that meditation you was telling me about. You refreshed a lot of things for me and for the people I hope viewing.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, this is beneficial, man. I might be on something with this, man. So I appreciate you, bro, and I'm gonna definitely be in touch, man.
Appreciate you too, bro. Thanks for the thought.
Yes, sir. And we've done a lot of these, man. Sometimes it just be me and you, and sometimes it might be a few people on here, man. So we go keep this going, keep it growing, keep getting the knowledge out there.
Do it.
And yeah, that's what it is.
I'm rocking with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Hey, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Good shit.